And we are live.
We are live.
Welcome to Mother and Son Making Sense Out of Nonsense,
Plus more.
plus more. Trying to cue up our theme song. Sorry we're running a little late, you know. But the early bird does catch the worm.
I guess so. All right. Well, good morning, everybody. Good
We are
afternoon.
we already said that.
Oh, my bad.
We're just waiting for the theme song so we start the show.
Let's do this.
Hey yo, it's time to go. Yeah. You know what it is. Get into it. Don't act like you don't already know the name. Let's go. Mother and son making sense out of nonsense. Plus more. What? You heard me. Mother and son making sense out of nonsense. Plus more. What? I said you heard me. Mother and son making sense out of nonsense. Plus more. What? I said you heard me. Mother and son making sense out of nonsense. Plus more. Now it's on. Now let's listen.
Oh. Hold on, let me wake up from that ending.
That's so funny. That's a really funny inside joke. It's just become a funny running joke.
Well, it's only and we'll just keep it running as long as you refuse to make as long as you refuse to make that end of that song uplifting and inspirational as opposed to depressed and a downer. That's okay. Let's just start the show. And that is a D word that we're going to start today. The D word is
Depressing.
depressed, downer, and drama. And let's start the show.
All right. You're really coming in hot. I thought I would get a more subdued version of you since we're 3 hours earlier, but that's obviously didn't happen.
And let's explain. So I'm
Yes.
on the West Coast and he's all the way on the East Coast. This is our second live remote show that we've had. The first one I was in Florida and you were in Cali. So here we go again.
Yes. Oh, not the one where you were outside.
No, the one when I was in Florida. We're talking about remote, not outside, inside.
No, I remember you were outside. We were trying to do one and that we were having technical difficulties. I might be confusing that with something else.
Well, as you insist on boring our audience.
What time did you get up this morning? My plan obviously didn't work.
You know what's interesting?
You look like you've been up for hours. Can we do next week's show at 2 a.m.?
So one of the things that's the big difference is between us is I when I wake up, I'm ready to go. I'm shot out of a cannon.
Yes, that's
yeah.
right.
I wake up happy. I wake up happy. I wake up ready. I wake up on fire. I wake up with the jokes. I mean, you thought you were going to find us subdued. No, that's you. I'm on fire. I woke up at 5:30, so the show is 6:15 a.m. on my end. However, it was running late for some reason.
It was. I was scattering around, which is one of my topics. Is just being out of routine. I mean, I spent one night here, so just out of routine. I mean, I have so many stories, but I can get to that a little bit later because there's the stories and then there's the facts, and then there's just letting it be what it is. You know, there's discomfort sometimes. And that can feel like, what is the universe doing? Why would there be any discomfort? but I know that that's just a part of it too. It just feels like something must be wrong if there's discomfort.
What, now you're really topping on some things. Let's talk about that word discomfort, because when you were talking, I was thinking, because the growth, the not resisting, the adapting, the new environment, discomfort. So the question is there discomfort when the caterpillar turns into the butterfly, or is it just a different vibe change? So that word discomfort, the way you're using it, check me if I'm wrong or if I'm off, carries a energy to it. Everything, energy, frequency, vibration. So it carries an energy, discomfort. So how can I switch it to, because I know exactly what you're talking about. That challenge, that growth is just, what other word is there than than discomfort? Uncomfortable. Looking in the mirror is uncomfortable. So what word can I use that can keep me neutral, but still describe what you're saying?
Right. Well, this doesn't quite describe it. It's really general, but I've heard you say I'm just feeling. I mean, if we take out all the stories, I'm having a feeling. I mean, that doesn't necessarily describe it specifically, but it does describe it generally.
Neutrally, we're going for neutral,
Yes.
not general, neutral.
Neutrally. Well, I have another quote from the book that I had a quote from last time. I have words of the day. What do you want?
Please give me your quote and give me your words of the day, please.
All right. So the quote is, it's again from the 4 Agreements, and it's one sentence. You achieve the mastery of transformation by changing the fear-based agreements that make you suffer and reprogramming your own mind in your own way.
Read that one more time, please. That was really good.
You achieve the mastery of transformation by changing the fear-based agreements that make you suffer and reprogramming your own mind in your own way. And I picked that. I was just thumbing through it really quickly, but it caught my attention because of that fear-based part first. And last night, because I was in and out of sleep, and I was up in the middle of the night, and I started journaling because I tried all the things to relax and breathe and stretch and notice my body, all these things, and I was just getting progressively more irritated and anxious and stressed, or I was feeling a feeling, as we say, neutrally. I was feeling some feelings. And
that doesn't sound like you getting frustrated in the middle of trying to sleep. What?
I'm really glad that everyone's getting to see this, because now everyone knows what our life was like in the morning, and why I so graciously asked you to not say good morning to me, because we're too different. We're playing 2 different games.
Well, I'm playing the fun, happy, have a good time game. What game are you playing?
Yeah, I don't know, but
the opposite?
I think it's the opposite. It's the bring you down, grumbly, let's have a bad day and a bad start to the day.
Mission accomplished.
So anyways, I was up in the middle of the night, and so I started journaling. I got my phone out, and then I had some thoughts around getting my phone out with the blue screen. And thank you for that red screen, by the way. I use that every night. I love it. So I got the phone out.
So hold on a second before we go on, because we have an audience. So this is what the red screen does. And you can just Google on YouTube how to, I think only if you have an iPhone. Well, anyway, this is for iPhones, how you turn off all that blue screen in the middle of the night. So you can, it looks like this. 3 buttons, red screen. Yeah, so
Red screen.
Red screen.
You tap it 3 times, but you have to program the phone to be able to do that.
Yes, and so the instructions, there's this woman, the instructions are a minute, 10 seconds, 20 seconds on YouTube, how to do that. And yeah, so you don't have to look at the bright light. But I just wanted to share that so everyone would know.
Tips and tricks. Everybody gets the tips and tricks. So I got the phone out reluctantly, started journaling and just what was going on in my mind. And I allowed myself to write down what I was afraid of. I mean, what am I afraid of if I don't sleep? Getting sick, being a bummer, being a downer to myself, having a downer trip, ruining everything. I should be able to go to sleep, and I'm all these stories, and it felt fear-based. And I thought, okay, so I have all these fears, and then I started writing, I started transitioning into what I believe and the truths and taking it, just being in the present moment, not making it such a big deal, knowing that it's going to feel different later in the morning. And then, and then I did a list of just facts, no stories, no feelings, none of that, just what's going on. So I wrote, I'm in a new bed. This is my first night here in New York. Things like that, facts. And there was something talk about neutral about that. So anyway, this passage caught my eye, and I like, of course, I like your own mind in your own way. I love that. So that's that.
I love that too. And that was a great opening and topic. So so I have one thing to say. So you were, and this is not for me, this is from Moji. You will not experience real freedom, real peace until you stop identifying with your person. And it's just, for me, Nathan, it's just simple. I'm either identifying with the person with all the stories, or I'm not. And it's just a conscious pulling away of my ego. What was my ego? Oh, there's so many things. My ego was upset. Oh, listen to this. We're having record-breaking temperatures here in Las Vegas. It was 112 yesterday. It's supposed to be 118. And guess what? My air conditioner that's less than a year old isn't working inside the house. It's 85 inside the house. I might as well be living on the sun.
It's that hot.
It's that hot. My identity, the Rebecca, and then finding out that they installed an old unit. Oh, it's just the stories and the stories. And when on Monday and the part has to come, who's ever heard of you have to order a part for a brand new machine? It's an older machine, and I was taken advantage of. I mean, the constant. And then I just had to say, listen, it's Saturday. There's no way I'm going to allow this story to take possession. It can still be there, but it's not going to take over, consume me. And there's a difference between me just looking at it and being consumed by the story. And when I'm consumed by the story, I know I'm identifying with my person.
Wow, that's really, my body's reacting to that. That's really good. Yes, consumed by the story. I felt that last night, really consumed. And then you said, I'm not going to let this story take over this Saturday. I mean, that's how I felt too. And I did start asking questions too. I knew after a while of basically rambling, word vomiting, whatever, through journaling, that it's time to ask some questions.
Excuse me.
And I just want to read a few of them because I think they're good. And I that is another topic of just
go ahead.
Just a reminder, we really couldn't have the show if it wasn't for the two of us.
6:30 a.m. I'm
ready to rock. That's really cool. Even if it was just your show anyway, could be a mother with. So here we go. How can I sleep? How can I be willing to sleep? How can I trust your will for me? How can I see the positives as well as the negatives and also the facts? How can I stay connected to peace? How can I welcome the peace that is already here? That's the last question I wrote. So it's time to ask as well, and that helps me get out of the stories.
What
Possess.
great questions. Now I have a question for you.
Yeah.
How do I, what I are you talking about? Are you talking about your ego I, or are you talking about your higher self I? Because does your higher self I need any help?
Maybe need any help? Well, no, but the human does for me. I mean, a human for me has all the emotions and all the thoughts and all the stories. I just look at it as like a little kid running around crazy and just needs some help or a lollipop or a distraction or something. Just not misguided, just a little aimless. I think when I think of help, it's like taking that little kid and just turning their shoulders and pointing them in the direction they need to go. I saw a Pixar movie, an animated movie, and there was one character, this chicken, and didn't have any lines, and the eyes were going all googly eyed. It was like a dumb character, like the dumb chicken, and it would walk straight forward, and then one time one character picked it up and then turned it around and had it walk in the right direction, or was pecking at food on the floor and it was missing the food. It was pecking at the floor, and one character picked up the chicken and turned it so it was pecking at the food. It just needed some guidance. It was dumb.
That's a really good analogy. And while you were talking, I was thinking, okay, so you said the human side of you, then I visualized, believe it or not, Halloween. So it's Halloween and I have costumes. I have costumes to pick out. And which costume am I going to choose? The costume that needs to be guided, the costume that goes around in circles, the costume that always has a story, or the costume that is I put it on and all of a sudden I'm my higher self and I'm in peace. I'm going to choose the costume of my higher self always and I'm in peace. So I'm not going to put on that costume with all of because I already know it's always going to be that human is always going to be that, which is fine. And I rather observe it than be it.
Well, I've got to be a little more discerning about which costume I'm getting from that closet, because I sometimes feel like I'm doing the sleepwalk. I'm doing the zombie walk to put these clothes on. I'm looking down like I've got my crazy clothes on again.
And there you go. You have your crazy. Just know that you're wearing your crazy costume. You're wearing your crazy.
Well, I'll know it now, and I thank you for telling me. Here's my word of the day, and it's for us. This is a mom and son word, and it's agape. 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 And it's a state, and you'll know why it's by the end of the definition. In a state of astonishment, wonder, expectation, or eager attention, as with mouth hanging open. She sat, mouth agape, as ducks continued to flap into the library.
And that's one of our signature looks, and might as well do it right now.
It's hard to do it in the moment, but yeah.
Not for me.
It's getting better.
Yeah. See, there you go. There you see how you almost talked yourself into it's hard.
And and some of our best moments are when we're both agape. Both of our mouths are hanging open, and then we look at each other and realize the other one's mouth is hanging open too.
That's called simultaneous mouths hanging open, aka agape. The horror of it all.
The astonishment of it all.
Yes, he moved back in with his mother after 39 years. That's the best thing that ever happened to him. Okay, my word of the day, it's for both of us also. My word of the day is a common word. It's a word that gladiator. Gladiator, and I chose this word. Honestly. I was struggling for a word of the day, and then I'm not going to sit up here and stress over what's a word of the day, but I was thinking about gladiator, warrior, because you were talking about just this living this life, and a gladiator demonstrates power to overcome death instilled in those who witness, courage and discipline to continually fight. And that describes this journey. It is always constant gladiator, constant coming up with, and here is the challenge: forever. That's the challenge. This is a constant gladiator, and I want to give you props, and I'm giving me props. We've been on this journey for decades now, and it's not going to end. And it is a process. It is my lifestyle. It is my destiny. My purpose is what I do. People ask me, what do you do? Practice staying in the present moment. Practice this journey to learn the truth about what this life is about. And really what it is about is transcending my humanness, being different than I was 6 months ago, a year ago. And it's constant. You're a gladiator. I'm a gladiator. Anybody that is, scratch that. I'm just saying this journey is not easy. That's why it's a road less traveled. And I just want to give you props, me props. Come on, because the world isn't going to acknowledge personal growth. There are consciousness awards now, believe it or not. But nobody's giving awards to the common person that, you know what, I used to be irritated, or I'm shifting my perspective, or I'm choosing I'm choosing peace over drama. Nobody's getting awards for these for this.
I love the word. There's a lot coming out of that, and thank you. I will take the props. I will take the gladiator props. Courage and discipline. I absolutely will own that. And we have been doing it for decades, and the mirror is changing. What's in that mirror is changing. So what we're dealing with is always changing. What we're being reflected back is always changing too. And it's so easy for me to.
What? You right now? Oh, we have a guest.
All right.
You want to guess?
No, I don't know. Well, it's so nice to see you, and thanks for interrupting. This is our first official guest, our live guest on the show. This is a really big moment.
Yes, it is a big moment. And you have to go now? Okay, well, thank you for showing up, and we're going to continue the show.
Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, well, you want to come on the show now? Or I
Your
have a
guest
guest.
isn't allowed. Your guest wasn't scheduled.
I know my guest wasn't scheduled. None of our guests were scheduled. All right, here we go. Come on, come on. It's okay. Hi. Did you have anything you wanted to add to the show? One thing our guests have in common is they don't say much. I can't hear you, but
Oh, now that
that's.
is funny as hell.
I mean, you want some falderall up in here?
Well, let's have the guests speak to each other.
Yes. Oh, the camera's following me. That's okay.
I'm cuter than you. You're a little plain. You don't have any hair. You're bald.
Well, I never had hair, never gonna have hair, and don't want to have hair. Can you accept that?
I'm trying.
Sounds like you didn't put on your acceptance clothes this morning.
Hey, how many fingers is that? Don't just say one. Don't just show one finger.
I know, I almost did. All right. I did. You gave me a really good setup. Well,
I have to go and I have to go now. Goodbye.
I have to go too. Bye. Well, I sure lost my train of thought.
Mission accomplished.
That was fun. Yeah. That I actually do remember what I was saying.
Oh, darn. Darn it.
You know, you were talking about Gladiator. The part that's part of the definition you skipped over in the beginning. It said something power to overcome death. That part.
Yes.
Well, why not? Why not use that as well? Overcome the death of the ego. Overcome the death of beliefs. The death of these programs. It's over, and we're still here.
I love that. I was more thinking of death as a downer, but you use death as a good thing. Death of the ego. Rah, rah, rah.
Rah rah rah. And also, and I do think there are quote unquote rewards here and there, somewhat by other people, someone else saying, hey, you're in a great mood today, or whatever it is, or you're not bothered, or you giving me the reward of mine. You gave me a Gladiator award. Which doesn't look like a Nobel Peace Prize, but
Well, it doesn't.
no, but it feels like it, even though I've never gotten one before.
I'm giving you one. Yes.
Yeah.
Next topic. Where are my notes? Next topic. Where are my notes, Nathan? Well, let me say this. When you're talking, because you were talking about sleep and then the whole stories around it and not being able to, it always comes back to, for me, it comes back to, am I resisting this moment or am I flowing with this moment? If I'm not sleeping, scratch the not sleeping, but if I am not sleeping, because when I was healing from this hip in the first couple of weeks, I was not sleeping. I was sleeping sporadically throughout the day.
Yes.
Scattered and just drained and not hungry and not hardly drinking. It was I was okay, this is it, Johnny.
Right.
But like you said, it moves to another moment. It's just, am I resisting? Am I resisting what's planned for me, or scratch the plan for me? What I find on my next step? Am I resisting or am I not? And that's just simple, because I'm resisting. I can feel it. The practice is resist nothing. Resist nothing about the air conditioner. Resist nothing that, I mean, it goes on and on. Resist nothing.
Well, yeah, I feel that. And then I'm going to ask you what you mean by resist, because that's where I was coming from with the discomfort, because there was that uncomfortable feeling, and then the resistance feels uncomfortable too. But the resistance feels more of a choice. That feels more of a, okay, I'm going to put on my clothes like you were saying, or I'm going to step into the story. So what do you say? Not resisting, what's happening?
Okay, so great question. So this is the thing. Having a preference for how I want to feel. I had a preference for how I wanted to feel when I was healing. I didn't want to feel that bad. I didn't want to feel in that much pain for that long. I've never been in pain for 2 weeks straight, non-stop. When I say pain, I mean discomfort, high discomfort, non-stop. And when was that going to end? And it really comes down to, I prefer feeling something different. And that's another practice, not having a preference to the feelings, not having a preference. What do you mean? I'm okay with feeling pain. Yeah, transcend above it. I mean, there are people that can have surgeries without any anesthesia, and it's all mental. So what I started practicing, or trying to practice, was transcending. So I'm not the one having pain. It's my body having pain. Can I get to another place with my mind that I'm not feeling pain? By the way, that failed, because I never got there. But that was what I was trying to do.
I really love that. I can feel certain moments when I'm meditating, feeling the body, but not, it's not my body, or just labeling it as a sensation. It's also the same with sounds too, hearing sounds and not identifying the sound. Like, that's a plane, that's a lawnmower. It's just a sound, and it's also separate from me. And I also, when I was listening to you, yes, I absolutely have a preference. I think for me, it's accepting that I have a preference, and my preference is not happening in this moment, and accepting that.
And who has the preference?
Well, I have the preference, Moji Mommy.
And you have the preference. So whenever you identify with that person, you might as well put on the crazy costume.
Well, thank you for
I choose the crazy costume. I choose the costume that's too small. I choose the costume that always needs direction. I choose the costume that's always discontent. I choose the crazy costume.
Right. I have to, I gotta, I gotta throw myself a bone here, because yes, I do choose the crazy costume. And what else am I mean, I'm going to choose it as long as I choose it.
How
as long
about
as it
this?
takes.
The truth is, I'm not choosing a crazy costume. I'm not choosing another costume. All I'm doing is, the universe is having this experience through me. The universe is having this experience through me. And so the universe wants to experience pain for 2 weeks. Huh? That doesn't make sense. Thanks. And so this if I say I prefer this, and the universe will, I prefer this, who's going to win? So that's why I just practice not having any preferences.
Well, one could argue that it's impossible to not have preferences.
Well, one could argue that, but one would be programmed with that argument.
And one may or may not be programmed in talking to another program. What?
You heard me. By the way, next topic. I've gotten these questions and I wanted to share them with you to see if you are inspired to answer too. This was an interesting question. Kind of. What words of warning, look at this. What words of warning would you share with your future self if you could?
Interesting question. Your future self.
Words of warning.
That's such a good, interesting question. I would say the first thing I would say is a warning against, I would say, I'm doing the best I can today. So when you have thoughts of what was Nathan doing, those regretful, embarrassing thoughts, I should have known better thoughts. I'm warning you, future self, that I was doing the best I could in that moment. Because one of those costumes, one of those discontented costumes, will spend time attacking my past self. Even when you were talking about, we've been doing this for decades, I thought, yeah, I have it in the mirror, but it wasn't like my mirror practice today. I mean, my mirror practice today is so, I really am proud of it. It was at a different level before, but it still was a mirror practice of courage and discipline. I was still a gladiator.
And we will be gladiators. Anybody on this journey path is a gladiator, in my humble opinion, which I'm not humble. Yeah, and we are gladiators to the highest, the most powerful.
And I know that word, warning, future self, it's a little philosophical, hypothetical, but there's something there that I can work with that brings me peace in this moment, and actually could bring me peace in a future moment, remembering that.
You asked me and your dad a long time ago, what advice would you give me? I think you were in your 20s. What advice would you give me for the future? Any advice? And so that's what you're saying is, future, I'm doing the best I can. And that's true. That's true for me too. The best that I can in this moment, and let it go. And it's not that serious, and it's not that important. And can we start chilling? Can we start relaxing? Can we start having some fun? Can we start enjoying even the quote unquote boredom? Can we start enjoying these moments that are uncomfortable? Can I start enjoying 2 weeks of excruciating pain?
It sounds ridiculous. And I think for me, a step into enjoying it is accepting it. And it is what it is. It is what it is. I do some words in the morning, some spoken words out loud.
I hate when people say that.
It is what it is. Why? It's what, cliche?
No, I was actually joking. I just thought that would be funny to say. I hate when people say that right in the middle of your.
No, that's funny. No, that was a little funny. And what's to my point? The words, I do some spoken words in the morning, and one of them is fun. The word fun. And when I get to that word fun, it's just a reminder. Let's welcome in some fun. Sometimes it's with a lot of fun, and sometimes it's just with a speck of fun. And I'm not gonna have a fake agape mouth, fake agape laugh, fake anything. It's a little fun. It's a little fun.
Well, I was one of those lucky souls that was born Fun. Fun is in every
And
cell
then
of
what
my body.
happened?
Then I had you.
Nice. That was nice. That's what we call that was a hit. That was a counterattack, hit back, bam, bam.
And I was a little, I was a little.
No, it was good.
I was a little bit. And it all just came to a crashing halt.
Screeching halt. Yeah.
Screeching halt. Bam.
Well, that's why when I play tennis, and you think you hit a winner, you hit not a winner, but you hit an offensive shot, and then they use your power that could have been a winner to hit it back even stronger. Then it's done.
Yes. Speaking of tennis, Wimbledon is on. I don't know if you've seen any of it.
No, I've heard a little bit.
Yeah, there was this gentleman who was, of course, playing, and he went to dive for a ball, and then he couldn't get up. His leg was just it was just buckled underneath him, and then he had medical timeout. It was a long time, and they came in and worked on him, and then he tried to get out there again. I mean, he's at Wimbledon, and he just had to withdraw. But can you imagine if you are and I don't know about him, but if you're programmed and you haven't been practicing not having any attachments, you haven't been practicing not having expectations, how crushing all that is?
Well, this is a whole other topic. Is this something that I've been listening to and thinking about? Is letting go, is releasing, and when it's time to release, and how challenging that is depending on what the situation is, and my own mind and my own personal beliefs and all my stories and my expectations of what I thought was going to happen. And you've got all the ingredients to not release. I'm at Wimbledon. I've been training for this. This only comes once a year. I may never get this again. All of these stories to resist the release.
The whole practice comes from living in the present moment all the time, from the moments that are wanted and unwanted. It doesn't matter. Even the most wanted, even the moments that are just feels the best, they're over. It's time to move on. It's time for the next moment.
And releasing the last moment helps open the doors for this moment.
Yes. I have one more question. Great. I have one more question. If you're inspired.
Yes.
Okay. If a genie could grant only one small wish, what would you ask for?
Wow. And when you said one small wish.
And these questions come to me anonymously, so they're not giving me their names.
Oh, I like that. I almost prefer that in a way. One small wish. What the hell would that be?
If a genie could grant only one small wish, what would you ask for?
I was gonna say a joke, but now it's too late. It's lost its juice.
Well, yeah, your jokes have been bombing most of the show anyway.
Yeah, I'm still coming too. So,
are you awake yet? Because I know when you wake up it's early and you.
Oh, it takes a whole. I mean, talk about routines. I mean, I have a whole list of things I need to do, especially to be prepared for someone like you.
Well, it's a lot. I am a lot. I am a lot on the plate.
Yes.
A full meal.
One small wish.
You have 30 more seconds to come up with an answer.
Do you have one?
No, you don't have 30 more seconds.
No, well, it's good. I'm trying to decide.
Yes, if a genie could grant only one small wish, what would you ask for? Oh God, it's so bad, and it's so universal, and it's so boring. But I would ask to always be in the present moment.
Well, I like that request. That's a great request. I don't know if the genie would consider that small. That sounds like a big undertaking.
I don't care what the genie considers. This is my wish. So if the genie, that is a small wish. Either that or eliminate the stories and the thoughts. Can you imagine just going through in fact, if I was going through this life without the stories and the thought, I would be in the present moment.
Yes. All right. I have one. And it's small, like the question asked, following instructions.
That's like the end of our. That's like the end of our song.
That is like the end of our song,
which is so bad, by the way.
It's not that bad. It needs. But you're exaggerating.
That bad is still bad.
you're exaggerating.
It's not that bad, but bad is still bad. That bad is bad. That bad is extra. It's still bad.
Well, you're right about that. That bad is still bad.
If you put sand in the soup, I only put a little sand. I only put a fourth a cup of sand in the soup. Is that bad? No, it's not that bad. So I only put maybe a tablespoon of sand.
No, we got it. We definitely got it.
Oh.
And I enjoy seeing your I enjoy your moments of disgust like you like my moments of disgust. It's funny to me. I get exactly what you're talking about. All right, I have it's not quite formulated yet.
Time's up. The show's over. 46 minutes now. We're off next week.
We are off. We're overtime. And here it is. It's one moment of my day that I was disgusted to have a perspective of humor. Just one moment throughout my day. That would be my request.
What? I didn't even understand the request. What is the request?
Well, luckily you're not my genie, because my genie fully understands, but I'll try it again. So this is my wish. Every day, can you take one moment where I would be disgusted and annoyed and bothered, and change it so that I find something funny in that moment?
Oh. You want to be more like me?
Yes, like you this morning. Yes, I do. You're on point this morning.
This morning?
I'm really glad it's at the end of the show, because hopefully no one's listening. But you have shown some level of consistency in the mornings. I have to say, I am agape. I am agape at how your mood is in the morning. This was in Oregon too.
This is who I am. I mean, if I have an audience, which is you are my single audience. Actually, we have a few people watching, one person watching. But if I have an audience, they may be gone soon. Don't stay for long. Oh, by the way, like and subscribe. What was the question? Oh, yes, yeah. If I have an audience, I'm ready to perform. I'm ready for the joke.
If you're witnessed.
Yes. Come on.
Interesting.
I like making people laugh, light. Who doesn't want to feel light?
I want to feel light too. Well, you need to be witnessed more often then.
Okay, good. So you can come and live with me.
All right.
Well, what a great, and I was looking for my notes, Nathan, because I had more, and I have everything but the notes that I wanted to the stories that I wanted to share here, but I think we did a pretty good job.
I do too.
All right. Really so
last.
Winding everything up a little bit. You like to do the takeaways?
Yeah, I do. Okay, so we talked about being a gladiator, having courage, doing it our own way. You have your way, I have my way. Being in the present moment really is going to take care of all of that, and keeping it light and finding the lightness, even with the recovery, the discomfort, and even the naming it discomfort. We can keep it light.
The energy behind the naming it.
Mm-hmm.
And so so this is a question, and I couldn't find anything funny, because I always ask, what's funny about this, when I was in a lot of pain. So what's funny about you not sleeping? Sometimes the humor, sometimes it takes a while for to find the humor. Sometimes it may be a month before I find the humor about me in 2 weeks suffering. And just, look for the humor, find the humor, search for the humor. Can we search for lightness? Because humor is light.
And trust that the humor is on its way, even if it's not in the mail today. It maybe check next week, next month. Humor's on the way.
Humor is on the way. It may not be today, but it is on the way. And this is what I say. Hey, hey, cut to the song.
Hey, hey.
Nonsense. Plus more. What I say you heard. Mother and son making
Louder, louder.
sense.
That's on.
Plus more. Now it's out. Now let's listen.
When you wake up, like and subscribe.